It's the middle of summer and your lawn is looking tired. It's getting a little brown, a little crispy, and it just looks stressed. So you do what seems right. You grab a bag of fertilizer for a quick boost. But what if I told you that, depending on your grass and the fertilizer you use, this could be one of the biggest mistakes you make all year? You might think you're helping, but you could actually be making things worse. In this video, I'm going to show you what's really happening under the soil and what you should be doing instead to build a lawn that doesn't just survive the summer, but actually thrives in it. Quick thing before we dive in, hit subscribe if you don't want to miss this stuff, because what I'm about to show you completely changes how you should be thinking about summer lawn care. For years, I've watched homeowners make the same mistake, and it always comes from a good place. You see a struggling lawn, your first instinct is to feed it. Makes sense. It can also be dead wrong. Think of it like this. When someone has a fever, you don't hand them a steak dinner. You give them fluids and let them rest. Your lawn works the same way. Under heat stress, it's running a fever, and forcing it to digest a heavy meal isn't what it needs. Today we're breaking down why the wrong fertilizer is so damaging in summer, what to use instead, and a couple of bonus traps that catch even careful homeowners. The most common error is fertilizing by the date, not by what's actually happening in the soil. It's June, time for a feeding. But your lawn doesn't read a calendar. It responds to temperature, moisture, and daylight. A 75-degree day and a 95-degree day a week later are two completely different lawns. When heat hits hard, cool season grasses try to go semi-dormant to conserve energy and water. Hit them with fast-release nitrogen at that exact moment, and you're sending a wake up and grow signal the plant can't safely follow. It burns reserves to push new leaf growth, while the roots, already fighting for water in baked soil, can't support it. You end up with soft, scorch-prone grass and a root system that shrinks in response. The fix: check conditions, not the date. A 4-inch soil thermometer in the morning gives you a real read on root zone stress, and paired with the forecast, tells you whether it's actually a good time to feed. Walk the fertilizer aisle, and you'll see big, bold, quick green-up bags with sky-high first numbers, something like 2903. Great in spring, often the wrong move in summer. Nitrogen fuels leafy top growth. It's the gas pedal. But in summer, a lot of lawns don't need to go. They need to survive. Push high nitrogen, quick-release product onto a heat-stressed lawn, and you force weak growth the root system can't back up. Growth that's also prime real estate for fungal disease like brown patch, which loves hot, humid, nitrogen-rich turf. The salt load in a lot of synthetic fertilizers makes it worse, pulling water away from the roots right when they need it most. The quiet hero here is the third number on the bag: potassium. If nitrogen is the gas pedal, potassium is the stress shield. It helps the plant regulate water, strengthen cell walls, and tolerate heat and drought without forcing vulnerable new growth. For summer, look for moderate, slow-release nitrogen with adequate potassium, something like a 10020, depending on what a soil test tells you. You're not feeding for a growth surge, you're feeding for survival. If that just reframed how you think about your bag of fertilizer, hit that like button. It helps this reach other homeowners stressing out their lawns without realizing it. And subscribe if you want more of this kind of thing. I've covered this in detail before, but it's worth a fast recap because it changes everything above. Cool season grasses, bluegrass, fescue, ryegrass, want to rest once soil temps cross 75-80 degree F. That's when you back off nitrogen and lean on potassium, if you feed at all. Warm season grasses, Bermuda, zoysia, St. Augustine, are actively growing right now, so summer is their feeding window. just with a hard cutoff 6-8 weeks before your first frost, so they can harden off. If you don't know which camp your lawn falls into, that's worth figuring out before you touch the bag. This one sneaks up on people. You've got weeds, your grass looks rough, and the all-in-one bag feels efficient. Kill weeds and feed in one pass. In summer heat, that combo can backfire badly. You're stacking nitrogen stress with a chemical herbicide on a lawn that's already struggling. Many herbicide labels warn against use above 85 degrees Fahrenheit, and applying above that threshold can cause real chemical burn on top of everything else. Better approach: spot treat weeds with a liquid, lawn-safe herbicide in the evening on a cooler day, and handle fertilizer separately, using the right type for your grass and the season, or skip it entirely if conditions call for it. Bring it together, and your summer job shifts from feeder to manager. 3 things to remember: check soil temperature and conditions instead of the calendar, lean on potassium over heavy nitrogen when the heat's on, and keep weed and feed off a stressed lawn in summer. Spot treat instead. Work with your lawn's natural cycle instead of against it, and it'll be ready to explode the moment fall weather rolls in. That's how you build a lawn that lasts.